Welcome to Kitchen Conversations. My name is Nate Sala, and I serve as discipleship specialist at Life. With me is Pastor Paul Gotthard, who is the senior pastor. So today we're starting a brand new series, and we just wanted to take a few minutes and discuss what these videos are for. So Pastor Paul, part of what God has placed on your heart is helping and encouraging those who are experiencing social distancing, quarantining, and the uncertainty surrounding the coronavirus. So what are we trying to accomplish with these videos?
Yeah, I want to try in the next 2 to 3 minutes and kind of share why these are so important and what we're trying to accomplish at the same time. And to do that, I need to go from a very general picture into a more specialized, focused one. So for the last 21 years, I've been a pastor as well as a counselor. And in both aspects of ministry, you're with people during some of the greatest moments of life, like babies being born, people getting engaged and married, maybe people's lives being transformed by the gospel. And you're also with people during some of the darkest, most difficult moments of life.
Right.
When addictions are wreaking havoc in a person's life. When maybe a spouse says, I want a divorce. Somebody loses a job. Maybe there's a death in the family, or maybe just some other type of tragedy that's occurred. And after 21 years of walking with people through some of the darkest moments in life, here's what I know that people need. They need perspective, they need encouragement, and they also need comfort. Now, let me tell you the curveball that our current circumstances have thrown with this. During some of the most difficult moments that our culture, our generation has experienced in the last 20 years, say 9/11, or maybe the Great Recession from 2006 to 2009, or maybe it's just a personal tragedy that people have experienced. During some of those difficult moments, the natural tendency is to move towards community. It is to seek out counsel. It is maybe even to go to church to seek God's perspective on this.
Right.
But right now, because of social distancing, quarantines, restrictions, we're now in a place where that natural tendency to go seek help is now one that we can't offer help in the same way.
That's right.
So we're trying to bring those same three pieces, perspective, encouragement, and comfort, and bring them together in maybe 5-10-minute videos that we can share with people in their homes so that they're able to process through these things as they go along. So let me pause there for just a moment. What you'll notice happens with a lot of adults when they're going through a difficult time is, depending upon their context, they put on a brave face. They try to pull together what we need to make it through. If the kids are asking questions, they'll say things like, it'll be okay, God's got this under control.
Right.
All the while, they're suppressing and dealing with concerns that they might not know how to address. And that kind of works almost like a clogged drain in a person's life. When things begin to build up, eventually they spill over into other areas of your life that you don't want them to spill over into. So these videos are designed to help people work through the emotional as well as the spiritual side of what we're going through in our world right now. And hopefully by the time we're finished with this, people are able to process from a biblical perspective, with encouragement, with comfort, with prayer, how it is that they are to walk well and lead well and love well during these difficult times.
Yeah. I mean, I'm noting three important key terms out of what you're talking about, that perspective and encouragement and comfort. So maybe we could take just another couple minutes and unpack those terms and why they're so important.
Yeah, let's start with the first one, and that is perspective. When people feel as though their world got tossed upside down, when all of the normal structure that we find has been removed, such as church, school, jobs, government, industry, travel, you name it, when those things have been removed, we need perspective in order to walk in wisdom. But unfortunately, if people are emotionally overwhelmed, they find themselves in places where they don't have the right perspective in that moment. That's the reason counselors and pastors and good Christian friends are so important. It now brings an objective voice of reason into that moment where somebody is just trying to gain what is the right perspective on this.
Yeah.
So that's what we're trying to do through these videos. 5-10 minutes to provide a positive biblical perspective of how you can walk through this time, not overwhelmed with the things of the world, but walk through in wisdom, in faith, in courage, and keeping a positive perspective on what's going on. So the second word there is that of encouragement. There's been a statement that I've heard over the years, and that is encouragement is always in season.
Yeah.
Man, there's never enough encouragement that's going around. We need encouragement. But when people feel as though their world is falling apart, sometimes it's really important that we give them the encouragement that we find in God's Word.
Yeah.
And that's what these videos are going to be doing. It's bringing us back to truths and principles in God's Word that do bring encouragement into a person's life. And then the third word there is that of comfort. We need comfort. In trying, uncertain, difficult times, we need God to comfort our heart, comfort our spirit, and help us to see things from His perspective. And in fact, that's even the reason why we're going through and doing these videos right now in a kitchen.
Right.
And it's why they're called kitchen conversations. And that is, if you watch the way people gravitate at dinner parties or family reunions or social gatherings in a home, there might be conversations that are happening all around the house, but give it just a little bit of time and people naturally gravitate back to the kitchen.
Right.
And it might be because of, familiar smells. Maybe that's where the food's at. Or maybe it's because it's so centrally located, you can kind of eavesdrop on other conversations and,
Right.
and still kind of know what's going on. But what we know is a lot of life happens in a kitchen. So we're trying to create, even in this, where there is a context of comfort for us to discuss God's perspective that gives comfort. That's why these are kitchen conversations. And also, we recognize that when people are going through difficult times, they might not have time to read a 300-page book on the topic. They might not have time to watch an hour-long video that explains it. So we're trying to do these in a way that provides simple, incredible, solid, encouraging, comforting, biblical insight in 5 to 10-minute videos. And then after it's over with, there's going to be a link where people can go back and read a one-page PDF that, again, gives God's perspective on the topic. So between these two resources, we're hoping they're going to be an encouraging piece to give perspective, encouragement, as well as comfort to people going through a really uncertain time.
Yeah, well, we sincerely hope that these videos benefit you. And if they do, we ask you to share them on your social media as much as possible, or email them even to somebody in your life that needs that encouragement. Look, we're all in this together. So if you actually have an idea that you would like us to address as well, you can send those topics to info@lifebaptistchurch.com. We'll try to get to as many as we can. But for now, we're going to go. In the meantime, we just hope that these videos will benefit and encourage you.
God bless you.